Hello! Today in the lesson we will solve another example where we will use the rules of operation with rational numbers. First, let's write down an example. The modulus of the number minus 5.6. Multiply by the number 9 and multiply by the modulus of the number minus 1/2. And this product must be divided by the product of the following numbers. Minus 2.7 times minus 0.8 and multiply by modulus of the number minus 1/4. Pay attention to this example. The thing is, in this example, what different parentheses for the numbers? The number minus 2/7 and the number minus 0/8 are written in parentheses, and the numbers minus 5/6 minus 1/2 and minus 1/4 are written using modulus. What is the modulus of a number? It is the absolute value of that number. And we know that the absolute value of any number, negative or positive, will always be a positive number. So in order to solve this example, first of all we need to find the absolute value. The number is minus 5/6. Notice the parentheses here. And then it's an absolute value. So the absolute value of the number minus 5/6 is the positive number 5/6. Multiply. The number 9 doesn't change, and multiply by the absolute value of the number minus 1/2. And that's 1.2.
Divide.
The number is minus 2.7. It's not an absolute value, so that's the number I'm rewriting. Minus 2.7. So in this case, I'm being told that I need to multiply a negative number minus 2.7 by a negative number 0.8 and then multiply by the absolute value. And the absolute value of the number minus 1/4 is 1/4. After we've found the absolute value of our numbers, then we need to solve this example. Before we solve this example, when we're working with magnitudes of numbers and the example doesn't contain an absolute value or modulus sign, we have to determine the sign of the result. The fact is that in the numerator we multiply positive numbers, and then in the numerator will be a positive number, and in the denominator we have two negative numbers and one positive number. That is, as a result, we have in the numerator a positive number multiplied by a positive number multiplied by a positive number, and this gives us a positive number. In the denominator, we multiply the negative number by the negative number and multiply it by the positive number. When we multiply two negative numbers, we end up with a positive number. In this case, it will be a plus sign, and multiplying a positive number by a positive number would also be a positive sign. And then we would need to divide the positive number by the positive number. The result is a positive number, so I'm not going to put any sign in front of the fraction line. And work with the product of these numbers. 5/6 times 9 and multiply by 1/2. Divide by 2/7, multiply by 0/8 and multiply by 1/4. In this case, I can multiply the numerator of the number 5/6 times 9 and multiply by 1/2. And in the denominator, I can also multiply the numbers 2/7 by 0/8 and 1/4. But in solving this example, we can multiply the numbers that are in the numerator to each other and multiply the numbers in the denominator to each other. But let's solve this example in a simpler way. what do I propose to do? I see that the number 5.6 tenths and 1.4 tenths can be divided by 1.4 tenths. 1 whole 4 tenths divided by 1 whole 4 tenths is 1. And the number 5.6 tenths divided by 1.4 tenths. What is the number 4? Consider the following pairs of numbers. The number for 1.2 tenths and the number 2.7 tenths. Or we can take the number 9 and the number 2.7 tenths. What is the result? I can divide the number 9 and 2 whole 7 tenths by the number 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1, and 2.7 tenths divided by 9 is 0.3 tenths. Let's rewrite the numbers we got. 4 times 1 is 1 and multiply by 1.2 tenths. Divide 0.3 times 3 times 0.3. 8 tenths and multiply by 1. Notice that our numbers have gotten smaller. They are easier to work with. But we see that the number 4 and 0.8 tenths can be divided by the number 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 0.8 tenths divided by 4 is 0.2 tenths. So that leaves 1.2 in the numerator. And the denominator is 0.3 times 0.2, and that's 0.6 hundredths. And now we're going to divide the number 1.2 tenths by the number 0.6 hundredths. In order to divide 1.2 tenths by 0.6 hundredths, we can multiply 1.2 times 100 and 0.6 hundredths by 100. Why am I doing this? To get rid of the decimal point. And then I need to divide the number 120 by 6. 120 divided by 6 equals 20. We solved this example and got 20 in the answer, but if we didn't do the reduction, then 5.6 tenths times 9 and multiplied by 1.2 tenths would result in 60.48 hundredths. And in the denominator, when you multiply 2 whole 7 tenths by 0 whole 8 tenths and 1 whole 4 tenths, you would have 3 whole 24 thousandths. And when you divide 60.48 hundredths divided by 3.24 thousandths, you have the answer. You have 20. When you see an example in which numbers are written in parentheses, pay attention to those parentheses. What do they mean? Either it's writing a negative number, or you need to find the absolute value of that number first. In the next lesson, we will solve another example with negative numbers. And today, our lesson has come to an end. Goodbye, see you again.